Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. And not your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Hi, folks. Welcome back. From Fox News, Candace Owens denied medical treatment as Colorado lab cancels COVID test appointment. Tucker Carlson said, "This doesn't sound like America." Now, I just did a video, did an episode, at a Florida restaurant that had a sign up that refusing service to Biden voters. And I'm going to tell you why I'm against this. And you're going to say, "John, you're a hypocrite because you're a partisan hack." Oh, no, not really. This has to do with health care, a person's health and well-being, and maybe even theoretically her life, or losing it in this case. She can't travel. She can't go on a plane. She chooses not to take the VACCINE. Can't say it. Maybe the algorithm will pick it up if I spell it anyway. Is different than being refused service in a restaurant. Unless, of course, the next place to get food is 100 miles away. So there is a huge difference. Let's read on. Conservative author and commentator Candace Owens was denied medical care in the form of a coronavirus test by Colorado laboratory because of her political beliefs, Fox News anchor Tucker Carlson reported Thursday. Owens was sent a letter by Aspen Laboratories co-founder Susanna Lee informing her her booking was being canceled and what she would be denied service because of her both aversion to government face mask mandates and her analysis of the effectiveness of vaccination shots. Now, those you don't know, Candace Owens, she made a big splash on YouTube a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago, and now works for Ben Shapiro in the Daily Wire. She has her own show there. And this is what the owner of the business, now she has a right as the owner to say, no, I get it. I mean, it's a legal right. We cannot support anyone who has proactively worked to make this pandemic worse by spreading misinformation, politicizing and discouraging the wearing of masks, and actively dissuading people from receiving life-saving vaccines. That's the thing. Either you think exactly like me or you're nuts. If there's actual people that can't take it, then they can't. For a very long time, I was told by doctors. In March of this year, I was bitten by a dog in front of my store that I just recently sold. And they took off with the dog. And it bled a little bit, left a nice mark, but they weren't sure if saliva passed through my jeans. And the county guy said you have two choices. There's less than 0.5% chance you have rabies. But the other side of that coin is rabies is 100% fatal. What do you want to do? And I left and I went, oh, you put it like that. And this is the email here. If you want to click on Candace Owens at Real Candace O is her Twitter. Carlson noted that it's not unusual for Americans of certain political affiliations to be singled out, punished, and denied services. But that is likely one of the first such cases of American citizen being denied medical treatment on that basis. Yeah, there is a distinction. Tucker said it doesn't sound like America. Candace Owens, she said she doesn't want to be tested all the time because of some government restrictions on bodily autonomy. She has to get routine tests to be able to engage in normal activities. As you brought up in the previous segment, this is the only way you can maintain your bodily autonomy right now, and you're saying if you do not get the vaccination, you need a COVID test to move. If you go to an event, you need a COVID test if you want to leave the country or fly. And she's right. Now, I'm not going to read all of this article, but she makes a point. If this real deadly virus, if the unvaccinated people who are behind this pandemic, people like me, and you really believe this, why would you prevent somebody from complying with the local COVID measures and try to get a test and do the right thing? It doesn't make any sense. Because this isn't about science anymore. It's about politics. I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist. I don't know why people have completely lost their blank Maybe it's all the economy going down the tubes. Maybe it was the contentious election last year, all the BLM and Antifa riots, and you put them all into being stuck in your house for months at a time, getting behind in your rent, losing your job, and on and on and on and on. It takes a mental toll. Children as well are losing it. A year and a half, 2 years. When you're 12, 13 years old, 2 years is a lot. And all of this, you mix it all together, and people just go wacky. Tucker want to know if this was legal. This is not about healthcare anymore, Candace said. These people are sadistic. They are sadists. They like to manipulate you, like control you if you don't care about public health. This is a public health crisis. She would say, you know what, I hate Candace Owens, but of course she is in my town, so I'm going to give her a test and make sure she doesn't infect anybody else. It's virtue signaling at its finest. Carlson says Owens is essentially being lectured because she doesn't care enough. That's true. You can't get a COVID test and have a credit card, Carlson added. This is getting really, really dark, and I hope Republican members of Congress who still have some power would stand up for their voters. Now, here's the thing. They won't. I find that interesting, the little sign there. My body, my choice. If you want to kill a baby, but if you don't get a SHOT, you're not allowed to do medical procedures in my private lab. And that's the other thing. How in the world is that the only place to get a test in that town? Colorado's not exactly, Mongolian mountains where there's nobody there. There's some kiosk thing she said, and it's really crappy. She was basically saying, I'm the only game in town. How is that possible? Beats the hell out of me. Anyway, I love that. My body, my choice. There's inconsistencies in everything. People are going to think that me standing up for Candace and then standing up for the restaurant owner in the previous episode, they won't let Biden voters in, makes me a hypocrite. And there's definitely going to think that. But one's about health care, potentially infecting others that might die. It's not even close to being the same. Tucker's right. He's never heard of this before in the healthcare field. Now you're going to get some small businesses, this and that. But people that are conservative are losing their PayPal accounts, their Patreons. A lot of people on YouTube make a living. Got to go to the other sources. It's absolutely ridiculous. It really is. My body, my choice. Only when it applies to things that we want. It's cherry picking your rights, or their rights, whatever you want to call it. It's ridiculous and it's stupid. And what's going to happen is, and I hope it happens quick before everything goes to crap, that when they finally do, the progressives and the leftists are just destroyed and our house of cards comes falling down. I hope by then, one of two things. The Republicans that end up taking over the government here in a not too distant future grow a set of balls and do the right thing, like they should have done the first 2 years Trump was president. What a golden opportunity shot to hell. Absolutely shot to hell. And number two, and even more importantly, actually, is the fact when they finally do go down, will there be any permanent damage done to this country? Permanent. We can pray that's not true. Anyway, folks, until the next time, goodbye and good luck.